The one thing I will say, because I'm a girl on social media, occasionally I dip my toes in a little renovator TikTok, a little renovator Instagram. I don't mind. I love looking at people strip down old houses and shit and being like, look, I'm going to make it look shitty now.
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm putting them gray floors in.
Yeah. This is a 19th century castle. This is a Gothic revival castle. This castle was built in 1850. Now, I get that is like, I feel like you can't call it a castle then. I understand it's technically a castle because it's stone on the outside and it's like castle shaped and all of those things.
I'm sorry, but
if you're like, I bought a castle, I'm like, oh shit, that's from the 16th century. That's like a 1500s castle. That's when we made castles.
Yeah.
But if you're like, oh, in 1850, come on. That's not a castle. That's a manor.
It is. Even by the 1600s, castles were becoming obsolete.
That's what I'm saying.
With the mass adoption of gunpowder, it's like really that shit had its lifespan was like cut fucking short. Karl Marx was alive in 1850. You know, people were like,
he's got to do it in 1830, but without the racism.
yes, we do. It's just an old stone house. I lived in a house in an apartment in San Francisco that was in a building that was from like 60 years after that.
Yeah. So I'm not that impressed by this castle. Also, I will say that it has not gone well for them.
No.
Since they bought the castle, they bought it for like, I don't know, a little over like $1 million, and I think it was like $1.5 million, close to £1.5 million. This was a headline in the news, local news, from just 2 months after the sale. Couple who bought £1 million Scottish castle terrorized by spiders invading their home. Not something that you want to happen. All of the social media clips, I will say, like, there's definitely the bait that will, they'll put out there where it's like, drone footage of the castle and then it's like Coldplay music or whatever. But there's a lot of him with no shoes on outside, which is very weird, like bare feet. Don't like that. Just going room by room, talking about how basically everything is rotted.
Yes.
What you can see is that we have beams that is just, they're absolutely rotten.
We've been dealing with lots of wood rot. You see these floor joists, the wood has rotted. The roof above the music room is completely full of wood rot. We're here in the master bedroom and we've found lots of wood rot, lots of water.
I was reading an interview on their blog that they had given. They've actually given a lot of interviews about this whole castle thing. And I'm going to be honest, it sounds like David Levitt did not want to buy this castle. Like, his wife is, like, really into it. But in the interviews, they'll be like, so why did you buy the castle? And she'll have this, like, crazy, like, we've always wanted to live in an old-timey castle. We were always looking. And then this, Knockdairy came up. And she has this very flowery answer. And literally his answer is what my wife said.
Yeah. Listen, as somebody who has had many wife-style situations with women in my life, sometimes they really want to do something and you don't really care that much, but you want to make them happy and you do it too. And then maybe you're right and you just can never bring it up again. And you end up
he does in these clips look very sad because it's like every wall he pulls down, the whole castle is rotted and it's like a total money sink. I don't know what this guy was thinking. He did comment on the fact that Nicholas Rossi was just 50 miles from where he and his wife ended up in this interview.
Sometimes life is stranger than fiction. Scotland was always on the top of our list. The fact that Nicholas Rossi was in a jail 50 miles from here nearly kept us from that. But then we realized that our dreams are our dreams.
Jeffrey Epstein.